Hey everyone, I'm Steve and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 ways to increase your angle of attack, so don't go anywhere. Since the emergence of TrackMan, we're now able to measure and analyze a lot more data. This has given us a lot more insight into what creates distance efficiency. One of those new data points is angle of attack. We now know that there is, let's say the average golfer's club head speed is about 92 miles an hour. We know that the difference between hitting down a lot and hitting up the proper amount is as much as 25 yards. So you could either train to be, say, 9 miles an hour faster to make up the difference, which will take you a lot of work, or change your angle of attack. So let's talk about the 5 ways that you can raise your angle of attack upwards. My number 5 way of increasing your angle of attack is to make sure that you're swinging down a little more from the inside. Don't go crazy and overdo it, but swinging from the inside into the back of the ball, we can hit it actually straight that way. And you can go ahead and you can try for a couple extra degrees if you want to. Don't go crazy about it though. But generally, a swing that comes more from the inside tends to bottom out or reach the bottom of its arc a little bit sooner. Therefore, the club will then be turning back upwards into the ball and hit it with a positive angle of attack. So make sure your club head is coming from the inside. Now conversely, an outside in path tends to, not the automatic rule, but tends to make us hit down on it a little bit more. So you come in from the outside, you're going to tend to hit down on the ball. Okay, my number 4 tip for increasing your angle of attack, get it more upwards or positive, would be to make sure that you're swinging into the ball shallow. So here would be an example of a club that's being swung steeply, more like a Ferris wheel. That shape swing would tend to make you hit down on the ball more. Instead, we'd love to come into the ball on more of a shallow plane. Shallow meaning not vertical, but laying down a little bit more. If we can do that, our odds of hitting up into the ball will increase, and therefore will our distance. My number 3 tip for increasing your angle of attack is to modify your ball position. Now you've probably learned and seen that you'd want your standard position to be off of your left heel. I don't go as far enough anymore. I think most people, if you want to achieve the angle of attack you desire, you need to move it up further than that. I would go to the big toe or even to the middle toe. That'll give the club a chance to bottom out and turn upwards into the ball more. So move that position further left. Okay, my number 2 tip on how to angle of attack, make it more positive or upwards for the extra distance bonus that comes with it. Making sure that you're releasing the club early or on time. So a lot of people that would abdicate the holding of lag for a long time into the downswing. The problem with this is though that it doesn't allow the club time to bottom out and turn upwards. You see, if I'm holding the lag like this, holding the angle, this natural pendulum action of the wrists is one of the biggest things that causes the club to bottom out and turn back upwards again. Instead, I want to feel like I am throwing the club back here. That way, as I shift, I can get the club to bottom out about here, and then start making it way up into the ball to get that positive angle of it that you're looking for. My number 1 way of increasing your angle of attack, from changing it from downwards to upwards, is the proper use of the ground. Let me explain. In a really good swing, our center of mass, our body right here actually shifts down a little bit like this when we go into our transition. It would be here, and there's a little bit of a bent knee squatting move. That drops everything. And then we're going to use the ground to push off and straighten up, or in some extreme, you're going to go from here and actually on the toe, or even get completely airborne. You've seen people like Justin Thomas do it. Watch Joe Miller. He is completely airborne. He's a long drive champion. Watch him. Completely airborne off the ground, is dropping into the ground and pushing off. Again, that would be right in the transition. It's back at the top. Then there's this transition move where you load up into the ground, and then you're straightening up the left body, pulling the left shoulder up and back as you go through the ball. Why does this cause the club to turn upwards? Because of direction that it's pulling the handle in. That exercise of squatting and then pulling back up again actually causes the handle of the club to turn upwards this way, which in a torque club around the handle causes it to turn upwards. I think you've seen that maybe another one of my videos on handle. So let's give it a shot and see if I can get my angle of attack using all 5 of these tips, if I can make it turn upwards. All right, that was a good ball. Let's check it out. All right, so I see on this shot that I've hit upwards on the ball, 3.3 degrees. The optimal we're looking for is up 5, so that's close enough. That's really close. And the ball went 293 yards, but I didn't take a lot of club head speed to do it. So certainly my efficiency was very high there because I made my angle of attack upwards instead of down. Hopefully it's because I followed all 5 of the tips. It took me a long time working on each one individually over my life, but that's what it's resulted in, and now I could hit the ball that far, almost 300 yards, without really swinging that hard at all. Listen, I hope you try some of these things, try my tips. Subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more stuff coming. Okay, hey, thanks for watching.